So let's, first I usually get my guests to say their name, affiliation, and, so name, title, and affiliation, go right ahead.
Affiliation.
The organization you're with.
Oh, okay. I don't think I have a title. Bonjour, Alexandre Picard, Public Safety.
Okay, great. That's it.
Perfect.
In terms of public safety, what's your role in going to be, or what is your role in this whole Carnauba Island group situation?
Yes. So public safety has more of a domestic role. However, in this particular instance, public safety will have a role to ensure that Canadians abroad are safe. Really, that's our top priority.
How do you do that when you've got a domestic police force? That's it.
Yes.
You've got a border
Yes.
control officers, and then a spy agency. How do you make sure that Canadians abroad are safe when that's all you've got to work with? You can't send the RCMP in to get them out.
Right, that's a good question. We do, so public safety comes in as a support function. Of course, the military could be involved, so there's other organizations that are ensuring safety abroad. But we do have a capacity that we can leverage. We have agreements, police agreements, so we can work with our also provincial partners if there's any specific need to support in the region. So we can definitely deploy a certain capacity to help out. For example, we could support in doing investigations if there's human rights issues and things like that. Locally, we'll bring our expertise.
So locally, in terms of Canadians, or we know there are Canadians, oil workers and some of their families in Wessex County, which should be part of Mandurah, but somehow has been annexed by Ben Bardon. In terms of their safety, what role do you play in making sure they're safe, or if they have to be evacuated? Is that what do you?
Yeah. Well, first, want to really denounce the invasion of Mandara by Bardon, and so that's definitely something that we want to participate to help the humanitarian effort in terms of public safety, specifically when it comes to. For example, I think you're alluding to maybe displaced individuals in the region to bring them into a safe area. I would say that's more of our other governmental partners that are the lead on this, but again, the public safety team would jump in to help with logistics and support as needed on the ground.
And domestically, we know that there are a lot of Bardonese and Mandurans in Canada. If Canada does get involved militarily, are you concerned, and what are you going to do about the possibility of some of the people not taking it very well? And
right.
You know.
Yes, so I think it's known that there are some entities in Canada that on paper could pose a threat. So we're taking that threat again very seriously because the safety and security of Canadians is a priority. So what we're really doing here is enhancing our security measures on the ground to making sure that with our available means that is mandated to public safety and the organizations within public safety that we monitor the situation and we escalate as necessary.
Okay, so in terms of monitoring, is that something the RCMP is doing, or are you leaning on CSIS with their expertise?
It's really a collaboration. We have a one vision approach where RCMP and CSIS work together on these elements to make sure that we're collaborating to address all angles.
Are you getting the coverage that you need in terms of your work, considering Alberta wants to get rid of the RCMP and replace it with a provincial force? Is it you getting the cooperation you think you need and the coverage you need in order to make sure that Canada is safe?
Can't really comment on on that perspective, but I can say that we do have the resources required to keep Canadians safe.
Surveillance can be a tricky business because we know that in the past, there have been some incidents with the RCMP and surveillance domestically. Someone remember a barn burning in Quebec many years ago. how do you, how do you instill the trust that you need in Canadians that the RCMP is going to do this without,
Yes.
being the RCMP of the past?
Yes, no, that's a fair question. We do have the monitoring mechanisms and the oversight. It's legislated, and we respect those legislated powers and responsibilities. So I'm very confident that we're acting in an appropriate fashion through all levels of the organization.
Okay, and just what do you have to say to Canadians in terms of safety? We've got these groups in Canada. They're not. If Canada gets involved militarily, they're not going to like it. What do you have to say to Canadians who are worried about the possibility that Canada is going to become a hotbed of terrorism, especially at our military bases and recruitment centers and those places?
Yeah, so 100%. We take those threats very seriously. And again, don't want to repeat myself, but for sure, the safety is a priority here, and we're deploying all necessary efforts. Canadians can be confident in the law enforcement community at the federal level, at the provincial level, at the municipal level. We're working at all levels to make sure that we're covering here all the territory, and that if there's any sign of escalation, that we're able to address it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.